Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For the course of International Financial Management, which is FIN542, our group would like to present about International Monetary Fund in South Korea from 1997 to 2001. By the way, this video presentation was presented for Ms. Nurul Ashikin binti Romli. Before we start, I would like to introduce our group members including Siti Nurul Iza, Nurul Anisa, Siti Shahira, Miza Munira, Nurul Atira, and Nur Fatiha. Next, here are the contents for our presentation, including introduction, discussions of country's attraction, academic performance, macroeconomic problems, and conclusion.
The official beginning of South Korea history is the 5th of August 1948 year when the country was founded. South Korea and North Korea are two separate countries, although sharing the same peninsula. Following Japan's defense in the Pacific War in the August 1948 year, 4 decades of Japanese colonial rule come to an end. US and Soviet forces were deployed south and north of the 38th parallel on the Korean Peninsula. This resulted in the separation of Korea into two independent nations.
The Republic of Korea, also known as South Korea, is a well-known and quickly growing country. It is the most southern half. The Korean Peninsula is surrounded by China to the west, Japan to the east, and North Korea to the north. It also has land borders with this country. This one is a product beauty. Everyone knows that Koreans are crazy about beauty product. Since so many people want a face as smooth as a Korean, it's not surprising that this beauty product from the country that grows ginseng is always in demand and popular even outside the country. Number 2, music and entertainment. Right now, K-pop music is taking over the world. K-pop music is often on the Billboard chart, which shows that it has made its way to the West. The music videos are very different from those of other artists because they often have creative and exciting ideas. As you may know, Korean drama are also very popular. The next one is advanced technology. In terms of technology, South Korea is way ahead of the rest of Asia. Even as technologically advanced as Japan, all of you should know that mobile phones are made by the Samsung brand are made in this country. Only Apple products are more popular than some mobile phones around the world. The last one is a delicious food. K-drama usually shows South Korea food as being delicious. Many people who saw it become curious and eager to try the food. Since then, South Korean food has become very well known. There are a lot of Korean restaurants in Malaysia, in US, and other countries.
Next, I will explain about their economic performance. So, South Korea suffered a currency crisis in November 1997, prompting them to seek assistance from the International Monetary Fund (IMF). The table demonstrates the amount of debt that South Korea was facing at the time. The output decreased by more than 5% in 1998, and the unemployment rate increased from 2% to 7%, showing that distress. The government has taken steps has requested IMF assistance for a stabilization and economic reform program. The IMF big program immediate objective is to stabilize the foreign exchange market and also financial policy. However, the economy has shown significant progress since the IMF crisis. Furthermore, the IMF requires the creation of consolidated financial statements in order to promote business transparency. Finally, salary cuts have reduced household purchasing power, while rising prices have reduced real income.
We continue with 2.3, which is macroeconomic problems, including inflation, unemployment rate, and gross domestic product, which is GDP.
The first macroeconomic problem that happened in Korea in the years 1997 to 2001 was inflation. The table above shows the inflation rate in South Korea from 1997 to 2001. In 1997, the inflation rate is 4.4%. Inflation then begins to increase in 1998 due to the overvalued won and the International Monetary Fund issue from 4.4% to 7.5%. This led to a high cost of living, prompting employees to demand a higher salary. Next, inflation occurred the following year with an inflation rate of 0.81% and a decrease of -6.7% from the previous year. There was an effect of inflation on the distribution of income in South Korea during the crisis. To combat this issue, President Kim Dae-jung has encouraged South Koreans to shift their focus from saving to spending to continue lowering the purchasing power of money.
Next, another macroeconomic problem is unemployment rate. Unemployment rate is the percentage of the labor force in every country where the individual who want to seek a job and capable to work but he or she unable to find a job. Sources from National Statistical Office shows that the higher unemployment rate in the South Korea in 1998 to 1999 reached 7% from 2.6% in the previous year due to the unstable financials, which decreased the demand in the country. This crisis mainly affects people who have a low and medium financial stability since they also need a permanent work to support their families and themselves. However, there is an action by South Korea in facing this crisis. The government of South Korea decides to reduce the interest rate. By decreasing the interest rate, the demand will increase since the purchasing power increase, which tend to increase the employment in order to satisfy the supplies of goods and services. By these actions, we can see that the percentage of unemployment has decreased from 7% in 1998 to 3.8% in 2001.
Next, it is Gross Domestic Product, GDP. So basically, GDP is a measure of the value created by a country production of goods and services over a specific period of time. As we can see, the GDP growth for South Korea in 1997 was 6.2% and then it decreased drastically to negative 5.5% in 1998 due to the IMF crisis. Then the GDP bounced back to 11.5% in 1999 after the government improved the trade surplus and restructured the financial system with public funds. Next, the GDP continued to grow at a 9.1% annual rate in 2000 but fell to 4.9% in 2001 due to a slowing global economy, lower export, and rumors that corporate and financial reforms have stopped.
The lesson we could learn from the IMF situation in South Korea is that we should not take on too much debt until we cannot afford it. This can result in terrible debt into the nation. It's not possible to resolve the situation by taking out a loan. As an illustration, during the IMF crisis, Malaysia managed to get through it without assistance or a loan from the IMF by using their own method for economic control and stabilization. Not only that, but as a citizen on a nation, we should work together and assist our nation in resolving this issue. An illustration of the outcome is South's ability to finally manage the crisis with the corporate.
And that's all for us. Thank you for watching.